continuous sleeping.
Sorry, come again?
So, basically, it was just like a few days of continuous sleeping. I mean, I had a big afternoon nap today as well.
Acha. Wow.
Uh, but I think uh, otherwise there's no physical stress on the body that I can
Okay.
think of. It was just
Okay.
a lot of sleep that was needed.
Yeah. Huh.
Uh, Overall, like I really enjoyed the race. I
Yeah.
think uh, what like one thing I could think of was I should have covered my nose and mouth in the Kargil Dras Kargil section because that just
Uh-huh.
gave me a lot of bad cough on the next day, and it just slowed me
O-
down tremendously. So I
Okay.
feel like I should have covered my nose. And
So like because of the cold, is it?
yeah, because of the cold winds.
Acha.
So I
Uh-huh.
I had covered my throat, but my nose and mouth was open.
Okay.
So, and also a second thing that I realized that I should not have done was once we reached Kargil, I think
Hmm.
because it rained when I was descending Fotula. So
Yeah.
I mean so my crew gave me like jackets and all, but then we thought कि चलो खींच लेते because it was barely like the last 30-40 kilometers. So we thought
Huh.
we'll just like push it and then we'll reach
Huh.
Kargil and then we'll put on layers and immediately leave for Dras. But then I think because it rained, my shorts were all wet, and by the time
Huh.
I reached Kargil, I was shivering. So
Oh,
I think
really?
in like I should have just gone, changed, and then started. But then the
Hmm.
minute I saw the bed, I got very comfortable.
Ah.
And I thought, चलो पाँच minute I'll sleep and then I'll get nice and fresh
Huh.
and all. I feel like
Huh.
that was like one big mistake that I did. Should not have done that. वो बाहर के बाहर ही निकलना चाहिए था.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
and I also had a talk with Kabir the next
Huh.
day, and
Huh.
so I had puked that night, and I had also puked the next morning. So he said because
Okay.
there was a lot of sodium in my nutrition, and
Acha.
because we don't sweat that much, the salts
Hmm.
don't really go out of the body.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So either we sweat or either we take like excessive pee breaks, but somewhere or the other, like that sodium should get out. Otherwise, it will
Okay.
start giving thoda health issues. Uh,
Okay.
so I think that was one.
Hmm.
And then third, I also figured that so I had a physio with me in the car, and
Hmm.
we had taken one stop at Lama Yuru at the CP for a quick physio break,
This is
and then
on your way out?
no, this was on our way to Kargil.
Okay. Huh.
So we had taken like a barely like a 5 minute ka break, and
Huh.
then when we started climbing for
Huh.
Fotula top, we realized that it was getting cold, and I needed to stop to wear gloves. And I feel like I shouldn't have stopped because the weather is so cold that the minute you stop pedaling, you start getting thoda cramps.
Hmm.
So one thing was that like you should actually just continue pedaling till you reach the top
Ah.
to avoid those small cramps. Uh,
Hmm.
so that was also one thing that I realized.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, I feel like second day we ended up taking a lot of breaks because I was sleep deprived and because of all the puking, it was just very difficult to push after a while. But I
Right.
think the thing that we did not realize on the second day was Saspol climb because on the first day
Ah.
it comes so much in the start of the
Good.
race, and then you have this
Ah.
race high, so you just like quickly pass it. But on your
Ah.
way back, that thing is a torture. So that is something that
Point.
we
Hmm.
did not like think of. So yeah, I think that is it. Otherwise, I had a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
it was very,
To
very
hear
well
that.
organized and such beautiful routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think nutrition for sure, what you said, you know, about the sodium versus
Hmm.
water versus nutrition, and what you were doing in that you need to, it has to be tried and tested. So, like if you've written down exactly what you took
Yeah.
and what you observed of what happened, then like you'll have to just fine tune it.
Hmm.
And you have to keep in mind that you can, probably fine tune and do tried and tested stuff at sea level, and it may
Hmm.
still not work when you go there because the conditions have changed so much. The way your body is responding changes so much.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's why in the acclimatization period again, you need to test out these things as well when you're doing your
Yeah.
training rides and stuff. And
Yeah.
I think the best thing really is to just be very, very aware of all the feedback that your body is giving you.
Hmm.
Mm. Whether it's in the new circumstances or it's a change in everything, whatever, even during your training, and then you're able to project it during the race, while a race is going on, to try and sort of analyze and get to the root cause of what might be depleting
Hmm.
you in some ways and stuff. Um, yeah. And as far as the what you said about, the gear, like stopping for your gear or not
Hmm.
stopping, and this, those are things that one just, yeah, I mean, you can't totally avoid it, in the sense that if you are cold, it makes far more sense to quickly stop and wear your
Hmm.
gloves than not, because later when you were closer to Kargil, like you said, you didn't stop in time to wear
Yeah.
clothes to keep you warm, and then you were far more cold, and then you're kind of looking for the comfort of that room, etc.
Hmm.
Which,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
the body is by then wanting some kind of comfort.
Yeah.
So those things you just have to learn how to do them quickly. Like your crew
Hmm.
has to know, and you have to know that okay, if this is needed, it's needed. Like do it fast and keep moving. The about the Kargil room and the halt, yeah, for sure. Like usually, most of the racers don't even go into their rooms except to just go to the bathroom or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just the crew will go in and do stuff if they're taking a break, especially. But on the way out, those who are going to Dras don't usually. But this time, as it happened, even some of the other racers from the self-supported, Rohan and Vineet,
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
took a nice long break on
Yeah.
their way out only. So yeah, one has to, that those things those are a matter of discipline actually. It's
Hmm.
just
Hmm. Hmm.
between you and the crew, it just has to be like okay, off saddle time is precious, precious time. You can't
Hmm.
squander it. Where it's essential, you don't have a choice, but it's not something to be just
Hmm.
casually,
Yeah.
spent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but like good. I mean, we're looking forward to seeing you back and cracking it next time.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, Raj, do you want to go next? You're mute. You need to unmute. Uh, no, Raj, sorry, we can't hear you. You need to unmute.
I guess he's not able to unmute.
Okay. Mm. Uh, Rutvik, the things allow people to unmute, no? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, I got it now.
There you are. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So yeah, मुझे स्टार्ट के रेस के स्टार्ट में when descending the magnetic hills, no, I think I was 1 layer short, एंड मुझे उस टाइम पे शायद से कफ कोल्ड लग गया छाती में, लाइक आई वाज कोल्ड लग गया पत्थर साइड के क्लाइंब के टाइम पे। आई ओपनड अप माय जिप टू while climbing, and when descending I didn't take care to zip up, so
अच्छा,
at that time I think I caught cold. And throughout the entire route, like whenever
sorry, we've lost you. Um, some net issues, I think. Himanshu, can you just
It
call Raj and tell him that his oh, okay.
fine.
hello,
Huh. Sorry, can you
sorry I got
yeah.
a call.
Oh,
Yes,
I see.
so
Huh.
yes, sorry about that. So when descending I got cold, then entire ride, like whenever I was climbing, whenever there was a
Are
So
you?
that was
We
that, and
can't.
then
Uh,
things worsened when we climbed Fotula. After Lamayuru, after the CP, we had a lot of rains up to Fotula top. So there I was all soaked in water, chilled rains, and the winds were crazy. So
right.
I don't know. At that point of time, I was not able to take in anything inside. Like nutrition कुछ जा ही नहीं रहा था, like whether it was liquid and all that, nothing was going in. So I was taking water. I tried eating like solid foods. सुखड़ी खाया था गुड़ वाला, then आलू पराठा खाया, फिर noodles try किया. Everything was boiling up and I was throwing it out. So
Acha.
nothing was going in. I had tried eating chocolates and all that. I had a lot of foods, वो सब खाए, try किया, so nothing was going in. So I kept on going and till Kargil, I think I had a black coffee at Kargil. That वो मुझे वापस द्रास से कारगिल ले आया था. That was sufficient. And after then at dinner, I had full plate. I just had a mushroom soup. That's it. And then took a nap. So pura like right, and on the entire ride, no, I was not able to eat anything up. And the second day ride was entirely on gels. I asked my crew members, force me a gel in my mouth, and I will just go. And after like 1 or 2 hour interval, they used to feed me water, and that's it. पूरा ride में like entire ride I had like 16 packets of Steadfast, which is not sufficient out of 80. My plant nutrition was 80 packets of Steadfast. Out of that, I had only 16 packs of Steadfast, and on gel side, I on the way back I had 20 gels actually. So I was only on gels, like fast enough के gels थे, उस पे ही चला. And when the weather got little bit hotter, I think it was we met Divya ma'am. At that time, I had 2 pieces of aloo paratha, and that's all my whole meal plan for the ride. So yeah, I don't know if it was the exhaustion or it was the altitude that was causing me not to intake anything. So
So, how was your experience in Deccan Cliffhanger? If you can compare like food and nutrition wise.
on nutrition wise, on Deccan Cliffhanger was on dot with the on dot, like 1 घंटे में 2 sachet लेने थे, तो I finished that instead. And like at what time I was supposed to take fast enough electrolytes, I was taking, everything was on point. Like we had we हमारे जो nutrition रहता है ना, crew chief के पास रहता है, तो in that we are supposed to give race, like to me the amount of we are recording everything, we are logging everything. So it was dot, like whatever we planned, it went all in. But in this race, in this race, my crew members were telling like, eat, it's time to drink, it's time to drink. I was so, I don't know. I used to pick up the bottle, and as soon as I bring it, I bottle holder में वापस डाल दिया मैंने. I couldn't take it. I mean, I was just exhausted or पता नहीं. Yeah. So
Maybe the
nutrition wise, I was not on a very good
right
shape on this
Yeah.
for this ride,
Yeah.
and that caused all the slowness and breaks and all that. Cramp wise, I was all good. I didn't have any. By luckily, didn't have any experience on that thing. Yeah, and I had a couple mental breakdowns while racing at Fotula when we had that rain, no chilly rain, no. I told Himanshu that no, I don't want to race. This is too, because I was coughing, so I could not cover my face, and the rain was seeping inside and going in. So I told I can't go further, and they took me like 5 to 7 minutes break, and they were recording the time, and they gave me hot water and all that, and they made me go like, come on, and like you have spent like 10 days away from your family, just
Yeah.
not much to
Right.
go, just get over with this
Yeah.
race. So at that time I got into the race, and then just after the Kargil break, I got too cozy, and I didn't wanted to start the race. I was like, this is it, I want to sleep. So was that point. Then they somehow managed to get me on the saddle and pushed me. But just after 20 minutes, I remember I was like, the headwinds were coming over, and I was like, no. I gave so much hard time to my team, so I know what they went through. They were like, they pursued me like so crazily. They're like, just get on that and push me like anything.
Right.
So yeah, I think it was the physically I think I had the strength and all that, because in the last strength, after like talking to Kabir sir, I completed the Thikse step until that climb at 30-35 average speed. So physically I was there, but I don't know, mentally I broke down or something happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still need to still trying to
I mean,
figure out what happened. What went
so
wrong.
that part of it, at least, like I can say that being like those mountains, that terrain actually the exposure is so unnerving, especially if you're not feeling physically fully there. Then psychologically, the terrain can have an impact on you of making you feel like, okay, I'm against things, I'm against something which is beyond my capacity or beyond my, this thing, I shouldn't be doing this, etc. Thoda sa घबराहट हो सकता है. It's I'm not shocked that you would have that sort of a feeling, but I'm glad that you overcame it. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kabir, would you like to give some input on Raj, what Raj went through nutrition-wise, etc.? I mean, or the upset stomach and whatever else went off in his.
The Raj's nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, this happened with me in 2019. Okay, I also told Raj before the race that I was too exhausted in 2019 because I don't know, that RAM fatigue was there. I couldn't eat anything except watermelon. So my first meal was at Dras. Okay, so while coming back, and Sumit was riding very well in that edition. So because he was just 12 or 15 minutes behind me, so I reached Dras somehow without having any SN energy or carburants or anything. It was just mental strength which I gained from the RAM, and then I was just mentally focused that yeah, I just have to ride 380 kilometers and then I'll take a sleep break and then I'll see what it will go. But yeah, I think that terrain is as such, when you develop that nausea or that exertion, it is not possible for you to eat something when we are, as a traveler, we are there, or maybe when we are roaming here and there, then that is quite possible. But even while riding, even for my last attempt, if you are climbing something and if you try to eat something and if you lose that breathing rhythm, then it becomes so difficult for you to just gulp it and just take some sip or something like that. So you have to find some sweet spots where you can have something, maybe while doing some gradual downhill or maybe some flat section. There is no sense in having something solid while you are climbing because it disrupts your breathing the momentum, and then you feel tired. One more thing behind the nausea about the food is less hydration. Okay, because see, the main thing, you are in Leh, the temperature is low, and we actually forget to have enough water before the race. Okay, sometimes we have the water, but our body drains so much that 5 liters of water is not enough. Because our body have to produce that saliva, and it has to has that hydration level. When you eat something solid, you should feel like, yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, that is the reason behind it. If you're not hydrated properly, you don't feel like eating some food. Then you have to find something which you can eat. Maybe that is a dal rice, maybe some kind of fruit, or maybe some kind of juice or something like that. There is something which you will eat, but these races are so short that the entire race goes for a toss, and we are not able to find that one single thing which we can have and we can ride that race. So yeah, this is all learning thing. Then this is the main thing, because you have to find like 10 types of nutrition. Me, Rutvik, Sapna, we were like having dinner in Borrego with Marco. He was telling us that he had some tight nutrition plan in 2017 RAM, which went very well, very smooth. And same nutrition plan went for a toss in 2018 attempt on day one. So they had to again redesign the nutrition plan on the way. So finding proper nutrition and proper bike fit is wholly and solely rider's thing. Okay, only he can decode those two things. So it is like trial and error thing that you have to find. Okay, this nutrition doesn't work for me, so I'll try with the something else. If that works for me, okay, this is my first chart. Then okay, this doesn't work. Then I have to have three backups for the same thing. Even for RAM, if I'm not having SN energy, I'll have just ice cream sandwiches for the entire day, because at the end of the day, it is about gaining those calories.
I was waiting. When are the ice cream sandwiches going to come up in the
I
conversation?
know. Last year, I think it was Subway sandwiches. I think maybe hash browns from McDonald's. But in Leh, we don't have that thing.
Right.
And then the exertion is so high in Leh, these things are going to hamper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
No, yeah, sorry, you were saying something. I think we lost you for a
No,
bit.
I was like, in Leh, actually, the things are totally different from the sea level. So the exertion is so high, temperature matters a lot. When it is super cool, you acclimatize very well. So when these guys arrived there, it was super hot, and like 2 days before, temperature went down. Then again, your body goes into shock. Whether you're there from like 8 days or 10 days, that doesn't matter. So then again, they couldn't acclimatize for that cold weather. If we see both the self-supported guys, they had 2 hour flag off before than the RQ riders, and that 2 hours made a lot of difference because they didn't get the rain at the Fatula.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that 2 hours also makes a huge difference. So these all things are there where these things will hamper, and you have to go there with all these preparations.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that you can have one thing that all riders have to be aware is that y'all can have a nutrition chart which you think has been fine tuned and made and it's perfect and it's worked. Like he said, it even for Marco Bello, somebody of that level, he had a nutrition plan which he has used before in RAM, and that still falls apart on the first day. So you have to be mentally prepared that something in the conditions or your body or something at that moment during the race is not working for you. So I think the best thing for that is basically to just listen to your own inner rhythms and your responses and feedback towards everything, always, like during your races, during your this thing, and get used to fine tuning that part of it, to be able to do it, because in the end you might just have to, it's not even like there's a plan B. It's like a trial and test is happening on the race, during the race itself. Yeah. One feedback I had for you, Raj, which I think I gave you that day when we spoke after the race, which was that I felt that your gear was not suitable for like it was not technical gear for cycling in the cold. So it was soaking up your sweat, and then you were riding with that, with a sweat laden jacket, which is adding weight and not keeping you warm. So that you need to look into, and that's something which is easy to fix as such. You'll have to unmute yourself. Raj, you need
Actually,
to. Yeah.
yes, the thing you saw on my jacket was rain. Actually, Himanshu told me.
Huh,
The one thing you observed at Dras, right?
huh,
द्रास और या
right,
द्रास में
Dras.
देखा कि कारगिल में
Dras.
देखा था आपने
नहीं,
या
Dras में.
द्रास में था ओके सो या
So
वाज
the thing is, even if it was rain, na, it was
या
the kind of jacket it was is the kind of jacket that soaks stuff and holds it.
या
So what you need is like a technical gear for cycling will be light and will not hold anything. It because whether it's sweat or rain, you may get slightly wet underneath. You almost invariably do in these. They're
यस
very lightweight, so they don't hold anything. So your
या
jacket was holding the stuff. It was like a thick padded thing. So वो technical cycling gear नहीं है.
यस
That you need to look into, because even
यस
uska zip जो था ना, the zip was an open zip. Like
या
normally your cycling outer layers, the zip will have a flap in front of it which prevents anything from going in, wind or
यस
water. So these kind of small details make it work for you. So,
यस
and that's an easy thing to fix. So you can
या
do that. Yeah.
कूल
Yeah. Some of the self-supported, Raghvendra, would you like to share? Raghvendra? Okay, while we wait for Raghvendra to come back in. Dhruv, how about you?
Hi, ma'am. I can go. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello. So more than myself, I was actually I was worried if my bike would cooperate during the ride.
Okay.
So yeah, because the cutoffs were quite hard, and I was scared of some maybe puncture or mechanical problem that would take off my time. And plus, it was cold, so repairing a puncture, it's quite hard. So I just
Right.
scared that that will take up my time. Physically, I knew I'd be able to do it. Mentally, it didn't challenge me as much, but it was quite hard. So first of all, my bike is quite heavy. I think the base weight of my bike is like 11-12 kilos, plus
Oh,
the
really?
yes, it's a aluminum bike. So
Oh,
and plus the supplements, so that was around 16 kilos, 16, 17 kilos. And nutrition wise, uh, I think I just used 30-40% of what I was carrying.
oh,
I was just carrying, I guess, 2 gels 2 gels, a few, I think 2 bars, 2 Snickers, and a few chocolate biscuits and stuff. That's it, nothing else. And I had a few stuff in my drop bag which I didn't even use. So as Raj Bhaiya said, when I wasn't able to consume anything, just had in liquids, just liquids. And I took my first break after I ran 13 kilometers after at the first CP. That was when I took my first break. I think I had an omelette at that time, and yes, that was the only proper meal I had during the race, except what I had at Kargil. And yeah, I think both ways I just consumed one gel. I was carrying 2. I just consumed one, which didn't really help. I think I used it before reaching Fatura top. And same, it started raining, and I was just wearing 2 layers, my inners and the jersey. And by the time I reached Fatura top, I was already drenched. So that descent, that 50-kilometer descent was very, very rough. I think I stopped 5 to 6 times because my cycle was shaking, my body was trembling. I stopped at this place for a while, I think while descending when we entered the village. I don't know the name. So the person at the cafe, I was shivering outside. I was just waiting outside. So the person, he asked me if I wanted to come inside and soak my hands on the gas. So I went up for like 5-10 minutes, soaking my hand. I dried my gloves and stuff, then continued after 10 minutes. And I was really waiting for to reach Kargil. Though it was a descent, I stopped many times. I think that part was quite hard. Reaching Kargil, the last 50-kilometer descent, it was extremely cold, and I was just in 2 layers. And for hydration, I think I just had water and fasten up. That's it, nothing else. And solid foods, just omelette during the ride. That was at the checkpoint. Then when I reached Kargil, I think I was fine for half an hour or something. Then I had intense shivering. That was yes. So I was shivering a lot. I want
This is indoors.
yes, indoors. After I think half an hour, I reached Kargil.
Really?
So yes, while having dinner, I was trembling. Then I wanted to have a hot bath, but it didn't get hot water. It was like very mild, very mildly hot. I still had a bath and just went off to sleep. I think 10 o'clock-ish, entire body was paining a lot, and I think it took me an hour to sleep because of the pain. And when I woke up, my left shoulder was paining a lot. Rest was fine. And when I didn't feel like continuing at night, I think, I can't flag off and just climb another 50 kilometers again. So
Right.
I woke up there, I was feeling quite fresh, and second stage was going better than I expected. I finished the 50 kilometer climb in around 3.5 hours, and that too non-stop. I was setting small targets for myself. So whenever I saw the milestone, suppose saying some village or something saying 22 kilometers, I thought fine, I'll wait at 18. When I reached 18, I thought fine, I'll wait at 15. When I reached 15, I switched to 10. I'm like, I'll stop at the 10-kilometer milestone. Then
Wow.
5. So I finished most of the climbs non-stop. And if I stop like for a very short while, just to drink water or something, maybe eat some dry fruits. And second day, I didn't eat anything. I think just 1 Snickers, 1 protein bar, and water. That's it. And maybe I'll stop for Lays or something, whatever I got. I was filling my. I could. Plus, the hydration is quite sweet, so you cannot even consume protein bars and stuff. You need something savory. That has happened to me during every ride. So after a while, I can't consume any more protein bars or chocolates. It gets too sweet because of the hydration. So, and Fashna wasn't helping that much, so I started filling my bottle with sodas. So first I filled it with Mountain Dew, Sprite, Thumbs Up. Wherever I stopped, I filled it with sodas. That's it. And when I reached the last, the Fatura top, I think from there we had 100 kilometers to go. I thought I'll finish that in around 5 hours. That took me around 6.5 hours. The headwinds towards while going back to Leh, the headwinds at Magnetic Hills were extremely strong. The pace was barely 5-6 kilometers per hour. That's it. I don't think it was more than 9. and that Saspol climb was way tougher than everyone expected. So I had to talk with everyone. Most of them said that they faced a challenge at the Saspol climb. That was quite tough. And what I was doing is I didn't waste any small descent as well. So even the little descents, maybe 100 meters, 50 meters, I switched on the highest gear. I went on my aero bar and I just pulled. So to get that momentum to continue the guard. So even during the gas, you have like small hairpins. So it's very slightly descended. So I didn't let that go to waste. And
Anything along the way?
first stage, I just stopped at the CP. So I had an omelette at that time.
Oh.
And after that, I didn't stop for food anywhere. While coming back also, I just stopped to fill water and I continued. My saddle time was quite less. I don't calculate anything. So I was just using Ride My GPS for turn by turn navigation. That's it. Otherwise, generally also I do BRMs and stuff. I don't this monitor any ride. I know like if the race is 444 kilometers, I have to come at 444. And the more I keep looking at the distance, I feel there's so much to go. I don't want to continue, so I just leave it. I'm like, I'll reach here, then I'll come to know how much ever is left.
Yeah, but no, you found a great way of overcoming that by looking at incremental distances and
Yes,
like setting
right.
yourself these smaller
Right.
targets and goals to meet along the way, which is
Right.
great. Yeah.
So I think nutrition also was fine. I mean, wasn't able to consume anything, and I was carrying gel. I was just carrying two gels, one while going towards Kargil and one I had in my drop bag. So I kept that in my this thing. I used that during the second stage, but I didn't consume it. And
So the question for you to look, I mean, the thing for you to think about would be like, if you're planning to come back next year and break the record, then what is it that you would require to, do?
I think
Whether
maybe
it's
upgrade my bike first. Maybe get a lighter bike. So I'm planning to get another bike by the end of the year to fly Ultra
okay,
Spice.
right.
I think
Okay.
I think I've used the most of this bike now. It's been 3 years
Okay.
and I've used quite a lot of it. I've extracted good amount of it out of it.
Yeah.
And I think a bike can reduce my time to a very good extent. And training, I don't train at all. I think before the race, the last time I sat on the saddle was around 1.5 months back when I did a 600 BRM. So after the
right.
600 BRM, this Himalayan was 1.5 months later. So I think I
Okay.
just used my bike twice in between for maybe a 5-10 kilometer commute. That's it. And I just got it serviced a week before the race. I packed it, and how much have I practiced? It was in Leh. So I think
Okay.
training, I don't use the intro trainer, nothing. I think I do just 1 BRM a month, not much. So
Okay.
I don't train at all. That's the thing. So I think maybe training and some amount of nutrition plan if I follow, that should help.
Yeah.
But since I do it just for fun, I tend to take it a bit casually.
Right.
So I think maybe a bit of everything, training, a better bike can improve my time a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Hope to see you doing that this year then.
Thank you, ma'am.
I will see you before that, of course. But
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. Naresh. Naresh, are you there?
Yeah, hi ma'am.
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Fine ma'am, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, starting there was some power issues here.
Okay.
Heavy rains in Hyderabad.
Oh, is it? Raghavendra has left us. I called out to him.
Yeah,
So
previously my area has no power, now his area has lost.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought he got scared that I'll ask him to
Yeah,
talk.
that is always there, ma'am. You have to pull him.
Right. So yeah, maybe I mean you could, since you and he were riding together till the last 30 kilometers or 40 kilometers.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, you could probably fill us in on how it went for both of you.
Actually, we didn't come for race to be accurate. We just came to enjoy the route. So
yeah,
we had no proper training or nutrition. No, like Dhruv said, we just came to enjoy the route.
Yeah,
one,
most randonneurs usually have that sort of
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
One issue I had is, man, when I reached Kargil, my eyesight was completely blur. Uh, the volunteers said that that is because of the cold. If someone can explain why it's
Your eyesight was blurred.
yeah, completely blur. I couldn't.
Divya, can I take this?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So even in the RAM, like on day 10th or 9th, so we see a lot of blurry vision. Okay, that is purely because your eyes get dry. Okay, so if you keep some eye drops which can keep your eyes wet, so that will help him. And it is only and only because the eyes get dry because of the wind, nothing else. So yeah, that will pretty solve this issue. So we get refreshed tears and all those tear drops. So that is very helpful.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Were you wearing any goggles, Naresh? Like transparent ones or other wind?
No, I actually normally wear goggles, but on that event I wear a proper cycling lens. But still, I had that.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, yeah, the weather and the
Yeah, that weather and the climate was really tough for
right.
me.
So it's a good point to just keep something handy for the eyes then.
Yes.
But the next morning it was okay when you
Yeah.
started.
By the morning, it was everything is. It took like a really 2 or 3 hours for me to get normalized. Even for
Ah.
the dinner after a bath, when I came down, it was
Hmm.
still the same.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But by the morning, everything was not.
Oh. Oh, did you want to share anything else?
One more thing, ma'am, at the Kalsi checkpost, they were checked us and asked us about the documents, whether we, the police checkpost.
At Khalsi on the way
On
back?
the, on the way back. They asked
On
who are all riding and are there any foreigners with us. So we
Ah.
couldn't actually tell them anything. We just told that we are doing a race. Around 10-15 people are doing and we are riding alone. We don't have any documents. So in that situation, if someone else is facing, what should we do?
I'm Grishma. Because I think I don't know if anybody else faced a similar situation. Uh,
So
but
that actually that check post is for the people who are entering Kargil district from Leh or entering Leh district from Kargil. So they're not supposed to ask for any document apart from just like your ID or something, just to check that who you are. That's basically only for the cars to register
Actually,
there that which car
the
is
point when
passing
we
which.
crossed, there were no vehicles. We were just myself and Raghavendra crossing. So the
Okay.
police were looking at like 100 meters approaching us. So they immediately told us to stop and go to the counter.
So maybe
I
because
just
they didn't have any car to
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
That
They
was
were
just
looking
like
at us like
some.
from 100 meters we are riding together there. We crossing
Okay.
the river. We were also looking to them if what is happening and all.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So they're not supposed to stop you.
okay.
There's no check post for the cyclists or
Yeah,
any
while
travelers.
going, they didn't stop us. While returning, actually, there were only two women constables. While going, there was a police jeep and there were around 5 police, but they didn't stop. In the
Oh,
return, they stopped.
okay.
Hmm.
So
Odd.
that's not like a official check post or anything, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think they were free, so they just had some
yeah.
time
Something
pass
like
by
that.
stopping you for 10,
Because
15.
during our acclimatization, Majan sir told that this is a national highway and there is no special permission
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
Right.
Only during COVID they were asking for it.
Okay.
But otherwise, even if you go on a bike, like ride through, you are not supposed to stop. It's just for the cars.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm with Raghavendra. If Raghavendra is alone there, he couldn't communicate with anything. He would have stuck there.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe next time, Grishma, when we are passing through now, the first official car can just go and tell them that we're
I
doing.
had told them actually while going to Kargil itself. I had informed them. I had given them a list also.
Oh, I see.
How many cars were there. Even when we came back, we stopped and gave him all the details because I was not supposed to stop because I had my private car. The rented cars should stop and register.
Right.
But I still, yeah, I had stopped and told them everything. But policemen, they were like,
No, they change
we
their
had
duties
no
every
other.
4 to 5 hours, no, ma'am. They might have
Right.
passed the
Right.
information.
Yeah,
One may know, one may not know. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
They didn't make much use any much time, but they just stopped us and
Okay.
if someone didn't know how to communicate them, they will have some problem.
Yeah.
Then maybe next time, if you can take a telephone number from somebody at the post, the senior person there, so that in case one of the riders is stopped, we can just call that person and.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Krupakar, how was the ride for you? Any input? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. So, as Naresh bhai um, uh, I soak the dry fruits in such a way that if I consume the dry fruits, it also helps for the nutrition as well as the hydration. So that helped me throughout from the starting point till the first CP, it helped me, and from CP to the Kargil, it helped me to hydrate and nutrition as well. So I didn't use much nutrition like gels and all that. So and the route were very very scenic, and I didn't push myself much for the timing. So during return, yeah, Shireen said that Namikla was torture. I was actually sleep deprived, and I literally slept while cycling itself. So it felt really hard to come out of it. Other than that, the race event was too much fun. After Saspol climb, everything was completely relaxed, and that I had 3 samosas and 1 chai because I need to have that. So because else I couldn't I couldn't ride more. So I wasted half an hour there. So if I wouldn't have had that, I would have reached half an hour earlier also. So
Or
and the
you
last
might
two
have got
climbs,
more slow, who knows?
yeah, maybe. But it was nice watching Raghavendra brother and Naresh Bhaiya. Whenever I see them, I feel relaxed because they used to ride calm and composed. So whenever I
Yeah.
see them, I get relaxed also. So it was that kind of bonding during the ride, and it was also fun looking at them riding. So on the whole, it was fun. I enjoyed a lot the climbs and the descents, everything, the scenic, everything. I enjoyed the last 2 climbs. That magnetic hill, I told to myself that don't push for the timing, just enjoy, have fun. And the last climb somehow I just managed to climb. So I was rushing, and the last I was a bit nervous while shifting the gear, and my chain got stuck in between crank and the frame. So I had to pull and I had to sit again. I have to adjust my cleats. So that I wasted for around 15 minutes. So return, otherwise the climb was fun, the ride was fun, the race was fun. At last, I'm happy that I reached within that cutoff time. So yeah, it was all happy
Yeah,
moments at the end.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the organizing were also too good. Every 10 kilometers we were there, and it felt some kind of too much comfort for us. Someone is there, someone, people is there, and for self-support we have to ride all the way alone. So every 10 kilometers I find the official, I feel like, okay, someone is there, teacher, someone, people is there. So it felt kind of occupied. So that was
Yeah,
also fun looking at the organizers.
super.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so thank you.
Niharika and Sudhakar, would you like to share about your ride?
Yeah, Divya. Sudhakar this side. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I think we both enjoyed the ride very much. Uh, I think Niharika this time was well prepared. She was doing the practice rides quite well. I was very confident on her in this particular ride. As far as me is concerned, I was nursing some injury exactly 15 days before the race. I had a very big fall from one of the steep descents. I was a bit nervous. Okay, can I really ride in this particular race? Fortunately, everything went well, and I recovered completely. Though I was in Leh 10 days ahead of the race, but I could able to do only one particular ride. But still, we thought, okay, we will catch up on that particular day. Fortunately, everything went fine. In my case, particularly, I don't know what really happened the moment I crossed Pattar Sahib. That has given me immense energy. I was even telling my team as well as crew, and even the day after the race, we all went to Pattar Sahib to give our these things. That has really given me some major push all through the race. While climbing, particularly the Lamayuru, I think as all our fellow riders said, it was raining. I was completely drenched. The descent up till Kargil, I was shivering literally, and even you could have seen me doing some hacks, which Kabir said, but unfortunately in my case it haven't worked. We were plastering, we were doing some cloth tying it up, but somehow it haven't worked for me. I was shivering literally all through the ride. Once I came back to Kargil, where we could rest, uh, though I haven't got the hot water, but still I had a bath in the cold water itself. I slept for an hour or so. The next morning, everything was fine. That was my big experience in the whole race. As far the nutrition is concerned, we had a huge plan. Okay, we will every hour we will do this, we will do that, and all. Unfortunately, nothing has worked. One thing which worked for me quite well is I was so hydrated. I think in my whole life I haven't got that much of water in my body. I have to take frequent loo breaks, pee breaks. Yeah, that made me feel comfortable all through the race. As far as the hard stuff is concerned, as far as the hard stuff is concerned, I haven't consumed much. I was having intermittent dry fruits and all. Yeah, that's pretty much from my side in terms of nutrition. And the Pattar Sahib, this thing helped me a lot. I haven't felt as if I was racing in such a high altitude. Um, the day after, when we went to that magnetic hill as well as Saspul and all, I really felt, are we the ones who raised this all route? That was my feeling. Yeah, Niharika, you can share your experience. Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Niharika, how was the ride for you? Niharika is also camera shy for this.
I think this time around Niharika has also done quite well.
Yeah. So the food and I mean all over those things worked out fine. There was no upset stomachs and
No, I haven't personally had any upset stomach, and even Niharika also haven't complained anything. She's very, very specific about food, but this time around, we instructed already. I think you have to just close your eyes and eat and drink whatever the crew gives. I think she followed that mostly. So this time, we haven't had any big issues in terms of food and nutrition.
I think Rohan and Vinita are not here. Yeah, I mean, they both did fine, and it was great that they finished together. I was curious to ask Rohan two things. One is how he's doing after he had a fall at Leh after after he finished that night and had got some stitches and all. So I was kind of curious to know how he's doing. And the other question I had for Rohan was that like he shared his nutrition plan, and I don't know if any of you took a quick look at it, but his nutrition plan showed a big deficit between what he consumed and what he burnt up. So I was wondering whether that had anything to do with the fact that he slowed down immensely towards the last few hours of the race, and to the extent that Vineet caught up a good 1.5 hour gap. Vineet managed to cover up. So, okay, if I get some response from him, I'll share it with the rest of you.
Hello.
Yes, Shireen, hi.
Divya, so I've been in touch with Radha. Rohan is recovering very well. Just to answer the first question.
Okay,
He's
super.
doing much better. He had fever after he landed, so he's recovering now.
Okay, that's great. I'll give him a call also. Check with him. Thank you. Thanks,
No
Shireen.
problem.
And did you have any discussion with him about how his race went for him or anything?
No, nothing of that sort.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think that closes out. My one observation that I had was that the Kargil break, a couple of people extended beyond the 3 hour mandatory break. So that like the thing is that that just eats up your race time because your race clock is going on. So that's one thing that's very which included actually Rohan and Vineet also both extended their break time way past 3 hour mark. So yeah, that was one thing I just wanted to tell everyone that like you have to remember that the clock is ticking when you're there.
Yeah, and on the way out as well, I guess everyone stopped there for a good half an hour, 45 minutes. So that's again sometime that should be looked at.
Right, right. So, okay, I think good. Hope to see everybody with at our next races. And yeah, stay in touch. Congratulations, everyone, again. Thanks. Kabir, is there anything you wanted to share with people?
Yeah, just take races a bit seriously because every time we give the information that this route is tough or maybe the last section is very tough, this might uh, take your race for toss, and then it is that acclimatization is why it is very important. Don't overtrain, or the most important thing that have a good crew because these RQ races and all are so much depend on the crew. You get one penalty and everything is like out of your hand. So yeah, I think just some seriousness and maybe taking the information bit seriously will help, because sometimes we provide the information but people don't follow that, and then the race feels more tougher and all, because these races are tough. These races might look easy when other racers ride them, but when we are on that ground, so every year is different. We can't uh, make some calculation depending on the last year, because sometimes it might be a good weather, the racers get good acclimatization and everything, and maybe this year the weather was too different. Like in 2018 and 19, the weather was pretty harsh from day one, so it didn't surprise us to ride in that different weather. And 2021, it was cold throughout. So, and this year it was pretty hot, and then it went again cold and maybe rain or something. So I think, yeah, doing a lot of research, lot of data work on it, reading the nutrition thing. A lot of people take protein bars. I really don't understand what protein bar will make a difference, because see, protein is important once you finish your workout or maybe once you finish your ride. It is not something like RAM in which you will start losing weight. Okay, so for like 444 kilometer, you just have to treat it as a 222 kilometer ka two rides. Your day one, matlab, prior day ka nutrition plays very important role. You don't even have to stop for like two breaks. You can rely on the roadside wala supplies. You stop for like one break after 100 kilometers, refill everything, have something there, and then stop after like 50 kilometers, and then you're done. And then you are going to sleep there, you are going to have some food and everything. So going overweight, unnecessary carrying something which you don't need, then not carrying anything what you need. So that makes huge difference. So if we see a lot of rider, even like Niharika's thing, she missed her time by like what 15 minutes because of the penalties, and that was like of no need. Like थोड़ा सा अगर आराम से सोच के हम करें, so चीजें अलग होती है. So just it needs lot of attention and seriousness from everyone to just follow everything, follow all rules, give the exact attention what the race needs. So the thing is, because Leh is in India, inspiring the races are in India, so we have that light थोड़ा सा एटीट्यूड किया कि हाँ ठीक है यहीं पे अभी नहीं हुआ तो बाद में कर लेंगे, इतना क्या प्रॉब्लम है. एंड देन बिकॉज सी फॉर सम foreign riders, these races are like international races. Okay, then they have to come with lot of preparation. Again, no, we are going for Himalayan Ultra from this country, and then we have to prepare everything properly and everything, all these things. And then they don't goof up. For us, like if we are going for RAM, we pay so much attention for everything. Like everything goes like from like 10 hands, and everyone look at it. Somebody finds some mistake. Sometimes we end up finding mistakes in rule books. So that much of study you have to do for the races. Then so yeah, just that attitude needs to be developed, and that seriousness. Once that is sorted out, then I think everything will take a different kind of uh, uh, maybe picture. So yeah, that has to be there.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I mean these races are a platform for being everyone to actually improve their own ultra cycling skills and abilities and learn and raise themselves. So keep if you have a serious outlook towards it, then that'll happen. Yeah. Thanks, Kabir. Okay.
Anytime. Thank you.
Okay, shall we wrap up? Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone. See you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.